Thank you. Not just a bunch of hackers, 3,500 hackers. And already see people looking at a number. We'll touch on that later. So, so I just tested the stream, and I'm now streaming the stream during my talk. So yeah, short introduction for the couple of people in the room who don't know me. I'm a hacker pen tester, red purple teamer. I do incident response. I help companies get their incident response sorted out, and I help SOCs getting better. But I also am a game designer and a CTF organizer and player. And from that second part is what touches on this topic. So I've been building escape rooms for entertainment. I've been building escape rooms for training, especially security awareness training. I've been playing CTFs with multiple teams. I also won some of the CTFs. I see some people in the room not being happy with that. And I've been organizing CTFs, specifically CTFs for Dutch hacker camps. And the last Dutch hacker camp was Y 2025. So not everybody in the room will know what Y is. So to learn more about Y, you could attend the camp, but you just missed it. You could read the wiki. It's only more than 4,000 pages. You could watch or listen to all the Ycasts, which is 28 hours in total, which, by the way, is the only podcast about a hacker camp in the universe. Or I will give us a quick crash course in the following slides. Y is What Hackers Yearn 2025. It's a non-profit outdoor hacker camp, and it took place 8 to 12 August 2025. So less than a month ago. It's organized by volunteers, and it's the successor of a long line of Dutch hacker camps, which take place every 4 years, unless we have a global pandemic. And then I come to the number, which is on my slides. When I submitted this talk, the amount of visitors for Y would be 3,500. And then Y sold out, and the number would become 3,750. So I could now change my talk, or I could decide not to entertain the next 250 hackers. So I did that. To give a bit of an idea what a camp looks like, it's a Dutch hacker camp. I got some drone footage, which gives a nice overview of the camp. So you see it's basically tents on a field. You can see some of the truck tents on this video. You can see a lot of light. It's quite huge. You see some people walking around for the scale of everything. Now we get to the important part. CTF tent and the party stage. And back to the most important part, the CTF tent. The whole field looks like this. The field is divided in areas which all have a color connected to the theme of this event, and there are multiple places you can entertain yourself. Some of that entertainment is, there were 178 talks, divided over 4 stages or track tents. And 150 talks have been recorded and can be watched back on YouTube or on media.ccc.de. Also, you can still find 130 MCH talks and 150 SHA talks. So if you have some time left. 2 of the talks you could watch are 2 of my talks. The Capture the Flag and Secret Tokens at Y and the Lockpicking in CTF talk. There was another CTF talk which was by Challenge the Cyber, which is also worth watching. Next to the talks there were workshops, 104 different workshops, divided over 2 workshop tents or in the villages at Family Zone or even on about the Serenity. The event had a party stage with one of the artists sitting in this room. Quite some artists played on the party stage, and at night there was silent disco. The other type of entertainment in the field, and I'm probably forgetting some of the things, but there were 187 villages which all could do their own entertainment. There were 3 bars, there were food trucks, there was karaoke, there was a badge, a boat, arcade, a home computer museum. Is that me? Should I stop moving? Talk and move. And the silent disco, which I already named. On the field, there was a lot of light. A lot of fancy light. This is part of CTF tent. The entrance. There were lasers. There were fire and Tesla coils. And there was even a physical firewall. But back to my topic, the CTF. We organized 2 different games during the event, the CTF and the Secret Token game. I'm first going to talk about the CTF. So what is a CTF? A CTF is a Capture the Flag hacking challenge. You capture flags by solving challenges. A flag looks like this. It has the name flag, some brackets, and then 32 characters. And flags will give you points, ranging from 50 to 500. And the goals of a CTF, at least CTFs we do, is to entertain. That's the first point. To educate, to learn or train via challenges. To introduce visitors to new topics. To stimulate social interaction between visitors. We provide an engaging environment for people to visit, and it helps people to improve working together. What do they say? So these are some challenges you could choose. So you go to the CTF site, you pick a challenge, you solve the challenge, you cut the flag, you score the points, you have fun, and you repeat. And that's what you do for the whole event, at least some of our players. Another view of our CTF challenge overview. The type of challenges we had, reversing, crypto, forensics, network, pwnable, web, on-site, and everything that does not fit in any of the other categories is MISC. For the on-site, we had lockpicking challenges and hardware challenges. Of course, I didn't do this on my own. This is the CTF team for Y. Plasty's not in the room. Good thing, because he's not happy with the speaker. So I ordered, he's even wearing his own shirt. You can see his belly. Sorry for that, Blasty. So this is the CTF team who organized the CTF, and part of our team did this before. We did it on OHM 2013, SHA 2017, MCH 2022. On OHM, we focused on the CTF scene with only online challenges. On SHA, we focused on the CTF scene, but also on beginners, but still only online challenges. From MCH on, we introduced on-site challenges, and we also introduced the Secret Token game. We came back for Y, and decided to do the same thing, but even more awesome. How did we organize this? We started 1.5 years ago to organize this all. And the activities included are setting up the team, working together with the rest of the orca, challenge creation, challenge testing. And testing is one of the most important parts about organizing a CTF. Create the whole challenge and scoreboard environments, both for the CTF and the secret token game. Make sure everything fits in the theme of the event. We organize the teaser round, and of course the main CTF, and we also organize the CTF tent. The main principles, what we focus on while creating a CTF, we focus on the visitors and not on the top CTF teams. So we want to make sure the visitors have a good time. We don't really care if the hardcore CTF players online have a good time. We focus on learning, which is more important than scoring the points. We don't have a strict amount of challenges per category. So if we have like 20 web and 3 crypto, that's fine. We focus on easier to solve challenges, so people have more challenges to solve. We really think creativity is more important than difficulty. We want to have more multiple on-site challenges to make sure people actually had something to do on-site. And like I said, all challenges need to be tested. And also the scoreboard and the flexi machine need to be tested. And an important one is each challenge should have a solution. Sometimes people want to provide a challenge to us and they say, yeah, it probably can be hacked. I cannot do it, but somebody probably will. So that's something we cannot accept. We should know a challenge should be solvable, else we're going to waste people's time. So the CTF tent was located on the field on the left bottom corner. It looked like that at night. The CTF tent was a place to hang out and play the CTF. It was not necessary to be in the CTF tent, only for the on-site challenges you had to be. For all the other stuff you could do it anywhere on the field or online. We were an info point for the CTF Secret Token game for visitors. We have the on-site challenges there, also the lockpicking challenges. It's a nice atmosphere and a nice way to meet other players. And in the meantime, also play some beer pong to get your mind off the hacking for a moment. And people hang out all day till very late at night. The tent basically was crowded as soon as we opened it up till we actually had to kick people out. Around 3 at night, and then they were like, oh, already? This is what it looked like from the inside. We had a nice lounge area with beanbags. We had multiple tables where people could work on, and our own orca area. So one of the issues with CTFers is they forget to drink. So we provide a solution for that. We serve water, coffee, tea, 384 bottles of mate, and 636 cans of beer. Another issue is that CTFers forget to eat. So we provide 150 bags of chips, 450 candy bars, 250 grilled cheese, and worstenbroodjes en kaasbroodjes, and kilos of popcorn. And sometimes we would go around with snacks, and then another round, and another round, and we're like, you didn't eat anything all day, because every round you take something. But we're happy to make sure people eat. We also had our own CTF beers brewed for the event. And we also had some mate shots and a big bottle to share. And the good news is, I brought some. So come visit me later if you want to taste the dark beer or the mate shot. Let's see, I'm doing good in time. To give an idea of the type of challenges, this is one of the challenges we had in the CTF and also in the teaser. This is the flyer challenge. And the flyer challenge basically is a flyer generator. So you have a website, you put in some text, and it generates a PDF flyer, which you can see on the right. So in this case, the text is, "Y is awesome, and I want this text on the flyer." And then the flyer is generated. So there is a vulnerability in here. We provide the source code with it. You can look through the source code and see if you can find the vulnerability. This challenge is based on some code I wrote for a microcontroller which we use in the escape room. This text is shown in the speech bubble. And for the speech bubble, I had to create a way of cutting up the text to fit it in the speech bubble. And when this microcontroller came out, you had to program it via Blocky. So I don't know if anybody of you ever did this, but this is horrible. But I did it this way. And that's one of my excuses how I introduced this bug. Because one of the, a little bit of the source code, you can see here on the top, it uses a char variable and then uses a char variable again further on. I copy-pasted that code in Blockly. Then I changed it to an I variable, but I did not change it further in the code. What this code does, it checks the right of every character because this microcontroller did not have a monospace font. So to make sure everything fits, I had to calculate the right of each character. And that's what this code does. And I put all characters in there. Except not all characters. So anybody has an idea what kind of characters I forgot? Yes, any special char. But if it was not in there, I would take the maximum white. So I thought I covered for that. But in this part, because I mixed up my variables, when a special character is used, it would crash here. And when we finally debugged this, we were like, we're going to make a CTF challenge out of this. Because this was not vulnerable, this would just crash. And it would only crash with a special char in the last word of one line. So it could be anywhere in the text is fine, but on that spot, it would crash. So we decided to make this vulnerable and put it in the CTF, which resulted in this code. And to make it vulnerable, what we do, we put it between a try and accept. So it would crash, then it would accept, and it would return the full string, unfiltered. And that's how you bypass the filtering. So if we go back to the input, we could put in some special chars, and then put some code execution in there, and then our generated PDF will show our executed command. In this case, the ID, and to capture the flag, you cut everything with flag in there, and then you get the flag. So this is how this one was solved. Example of the hardware challenges we had. This is a Wemos microcontroller. This microcontroller can be, you can put shields on there. So we put one of the shields on there and printed a flag on there. Then we took the shield off and gave the microcontroller to the players. So they only got the bottom part. So they only get the microcontroller, no screen. And yeah, let's see if you can find out what was written to the screen. They would get a whole package for that. And the package would contain a logic analyzer, an Arduino, some cables, a little breadboard. And if they would connect the logic analyzer to the microcontroller and chose the right protocol, I2C, then the microcontroller would say, I'm trying to write to 03C, but it cannot find it, so it doesn't write anything. And then the Arduino comes in. With the Arduino, you fake being a shield, you fake being the LCD, and then you can have the Arduino tell you what happens, or you can just sniff it with the logic analyzer, because now it's being sent over the line. You can sniff the data. So this is part of the data, and here you can read 08087E. If we change that to binary, reverse the NDNS, and then print it from top to bottom, you can see this is what it printed. So 0001000, it's 0000100, and one by one they're printed like that. And if you change the ones to hashtags and the zeros to dots, you can see this is an F. So that's the F of flag. So now you can do it for all the other characters. You solved it. That is the hardcore way. You used AI. So some other hardware challenges we had were lockpicking. We brought the lockpicking challenges, and you can play them at the lockpicking village downstairs. And you can easily recognize them by their colors. We had 4 different types of locks for this. And this is the order of how hard they were. Blue was easy, gray was the hardest. Funny thing is, if you let people lockpick, it wears down your lock. This is what the normal lock looks like, and this is already a used lock. And this is what the keyway looks like after 5 days of CTFing. And it actually makes the lock easier. And you can see the amount of iron filing that falls out, and a broken lockpick, which I had to dig out of it. Short anecdote, one of the players, Tom, walked into the CTF tent half hour after we started, and he grabbed the first lock, and within 1 hour picked all the locks, and then was going to do some hard stuff. Look at the digital stuff. He's one of the top lockpickers in the Netherlands. But he tested everything for us. We made sure everything worked. We had some prodigies walking around. These are the kids of Wietse. Lynn of 6 and Tijn of 10. They opened all the locks. To the annoyance of all the people struggling in the tent, especially Tijn, he would walk around the whole tent and show people, it's not that hard. Look, click. So with 6 and 10, I am now trying to train the next prodigy, my son of Jay, who's 2. And he already knows how to get the flag out. So happy with that. Some other challenges we had, hacking a Game Boy from another Game Boy using the link cable. We had challenges involving the badge. We had another hardware challenge which involved some type of TPM, and this one you can play downstairs at the Random Data Village. This was also provided by Random Data and OrangeCon. So if you want to do this, downstairs. Some statistics. For MCH, we had 45 challenges, a total of 3,000 challenges solved, and 100 teams playing on site. For 2025, we had more than doubled all of the statistics, which was way more than we ever expected. The top scores in the end, Superflat won, a Dutch team who have been hanging out in the CTF tent for a long time. And most of the top teams we have seen playing on site. We got a lot of positive feedback, and that's what makes us happy. And now some people will think, I never played the CTF, this is not for us. This was for you. Because we always create something that's solvable by everyone. But if you think, yeah, it's too easy for me, no, we also include stuff that's hard. Everybody can play. But maybe you don't like CTFs. Well, we also organize Secret Token Game. The Secret Token Game is a brainchild of Stitch. Or at least Stitch told us, hey, Bornhead does this. We should do this as well. So we decided to do that. And we started doing this on MCH. What are secret tokens? Secret tokens are secret strings which are located somewhere involving the event. So it could be a secret, and in this case, license plate number, a small puzzle. The top right is on one of the flags. The goals of the secret token game, once again, entertainment, but also to have people puzzle and have visitors visit all parts of the field and the event, and also to improve visitor interaction. The secret token format looks a bit like the flag format, but it's way more free form. So basically it's secret with something in between the brackets, as long as that something is normal letters or numbers, no spaces, no special charts. This was the one I gave away in the presentation on Y, which currently, of course, doesn't work anymore. Some other examples. There was one on the flag again. On each of these flags were hundreds on the field. You can see it. Even if you knew it, you had to search for it. That balloon was in the top of the CTF tent. A lot of people missed that one. It's so plain inside, and people still missed it. Some beer caps. Some puzzles from 2022, which we used back then. Some puzzles we used in Y. So I got a 2-year-old son, I just told, who plays a lot with toys. So I decided to make multiple challenges with puzzles with his toys. Some of the villages made a very cool on-site puzzle. I think it was Cyberfort. The Frack magazine had a secret token on the back. The stage had a secret token in front. Some of the villages had some kind of algorithm machine with a secret token in there. I did not solve it. The library had a nice way of looking through all the books they had to find the secret token. And a lot of random other locations, like the scoreboard, the website, the wiki, DNS records, Ycast, intro talk, on the radio, in the Game Boy game, on the lockpick, Morse code on a LED in a flagpole of one of the villages, even a tattoo on somebody's arm. One of the cyber cards, a cup on our self-service corner, and a grabbing machine. In 2022, we had 49 different tokens. 380 players played the game, and in total, 2,000 tokens found. In Y, we had less players, but that is because more players played in teams. So on MCH, they had to play individually. On Y, they could play together. So we probably had way more players. In total, we had 120 tokens, which is way more than doubled. In total, there were 3,600 tokens found. 76 teams found enough flags to also score a CTF flag with that. So if they found 20 tokens, they would get a CTF flag. We only had 5 tokens not found at all. And we had a lot of Orga, villages, projects, individuals providing tokens for this game. The final scoreboard. The CTF game was, of the secret token game was won by Back to the 80s Party, which did a really good job. And the next stop, play together as a group, I think. Because I saw somebody, the bronze player, sitting in the room. So yeah, people play together. These are really impressive numbers. The most tokens found, the tokens that were found the most. The first one was the token next to the badge stand, for reasons. And the second one was actually a very nice one. It was on the emergency contact papers. So we actually got a lot of people looking at these emergency contact information because of Secret Token Game. So we used gamification for something useful. Once again, a lot of nice feedback. Then 2 weeks before the event, Wietse came to me and he had an idea for another game, which was first called Capture the Fields and then renamed to Conquer All Territories because then we could use the name CAT. And we already had CTF. Which was going to be a pilot of a new game involving the Y payment cards and repurposed Wacom badges. The idea was everybody would get a card, and as soon as you get a card, you're going to be Team Red or Team Blue, no choosing. The card decides what you are. So you conquer a base, turn it red or turn it blue, multiple bases on the field, you conquer the field, you compete, you have fun, you repeat. That was the idea. So we built a pilot of that. We incorporated it in the map. So there was another layer in the map which would show the bases and who controls the field. And then somebody told us you can't create a whole game in just 2 weeks. And that was true. So we had a short pilot of this. The idea was very cool, but we couldn't it broke down. But how about in another 4 years? Because next up, in 2029, another Dutch hacker camp will be there, which is going to be probably not one of these two names, but these are two placeholders for the event. So if you want to know more about it, watch these pages. And it brings me to the end of my time and to an empty CTF tent.
Please give me a round of applause.